Hello, my name is David Webb, and this is a video for Dweebovision. I am a Scrabble grandmaster, and in this video I am going to play Scrabble while providing in-game commentary on my moves. Hopefully this will help to improve your game, and be fun to watch. The game has just started, so let's join the action. It's me to go first, and I have a lot of high-scoring tiles, so I don't have a bingo, and I want to play off as many of these as possible. Amp is good, but that would leave me with three. Well, that would leave me with the W and the Y. And that's not an ideal leave. I'm thinking about playing just your. It's good to play just a few letters if possible on your opening move because it restricts the number of floaters available to your opponent. This is good in that it splits up the duplicate A but still retains one A, and it plays off the two most troublesome of the high scoring tiles. It would be nice to play off three of the high scoring tiles. But is that possible? It's quite a tempting set of letters in that you've got the BY pairing and you've also got just the Y ending. So it looks like there may be words like wampy or bampy, words of that ilk, although neither of those is good. BMP is not a good leave. I would gladly put either the W or the Y back on my rack if I could use up two of the other letters. The M and the P go quite nicely together, but it's the B which is troublesome. I'm wondering if Yorp is good, Y-A-W-P, but I'm not sure about that. Well, I suspect this isn't the best possible play. But I'm not punished. I have got Bampots and yours. That was a really good pickup, T-O and blank, for what was probably a suboptimal play. I can't see anything else other than Bampots. Having three high-scoring tiles certainly reduces the number of bingos that are likely to be available. So I hope that I will be able to play Bampots. In playing it I could pluralise your, and I could also play it above your, creating my par. Okay, my opponent plays Flannery for just 62 points. And I can play Bampots across here. That's 89 points, and that's certainly more than I would get by playing it to pluralise your. And 3 N's is not a great rack at all, but I could play a word like nanny. I note that your E is good. So I'm unlikely to score a great deal with this rack. I certainly don't have a bingo, but it shouldn't be too problematic to resolve. It would be good to play off 2 N's and an A and the Y, and I can certainly do that. Great. This spot up here has not been blocked. I'm just going to put it down and see what it scores before looking for anything better. 23 points, which is actually not bad, and the leave of AH is fine. I can't see any other spots or any other words which are better than this one. And that's not too bad as a rack. It looks close to a bingo. I was just wondering about unhairer, but I don't think that's good. I think it's just unhaired and unhairs. And in any event, it doesn't fit onto the board. There's not too many other floaters. There's the R of Flannery, but since I have 2 R's, a third one is not going to help me. So I'm now looking to play off the U, one of the R's, and possibly the H just for score. I've got the A of nanny next to a double word square, so the H would be quite good on that. Now, is Rahu good? I think it is. Let's see what this looks like. Now, I think Rahu is good. I think it is. It's 28 points. I'm pretty sure Rahui with an I at the end, which incidentally doesn't play in this place, may be good, but I know it's not because either Rahui is good or Rahu is good, but I would certainly have remembered an I hook for a word like Rahu. But there's something about the word Rahui which means it's either good or it's close to another word which is good. But I think Rahu is okay. Let's find out. I've got the over prefix and I've got the IUM ending. But do I have a bingo? And I have quite an exotic word in Mevrou, M-E-V-R-O-U. But there's no obvious great place to play it. I note that EM takes an M front hook and UP takes an O front hook. Ooh, Rahu's gone. Which probably means that Rahui was good. Oh well, that's quite irksome. I don't like getting my 4s wrong, but it happens. So I don't get to play Mevrou. And my opponent has a 5-point lead. NU takes an R after it. But I don't have anything which goes after AD. Well, I think I have hurrier. Let's just have a look. And this hits 2 double word squares and scores 40 points. And there's always a slight doubt with agent nouns, but hurrier I think is too plausible to resist. And 40 points is good. If I'd seen that before, I would certainly have played it instead of Rahu. And I have Amakosi, with the blank as a K. I'm not sure I have anywhere to play it. I do, because Pud takes an S on the front. That would be such a nice word to play, Amakosi, and hurrier is going to take an S if it stays on the board. Great. In fact, the hurrier plural is going to be the better spot, because then Amakosi will be doubled. Has my opponent opened up a better opportunity for Amakosi? No, he hasn't. So let's put this down. Let me put this down. I really want to play this word because it's so exotic, but that shouldn't be the determining factor when you're trying to win a competitive game. And that's 79 points. There probably aren't too many other bingos with this letter set. And no bingo is jumping out at me. So let's see if this draws a challenge. In the meantime, I have an X. I have extend at A1, creating na and die. What else do I have? Well, I have extend in row C, creating een and id. Dentex is also good, and I can play that in column 13. Oh, that's actually quite a nice spot in column 13, because I can play it in this lower spot. Let's see what this scores. That's 46 points, which is great. Ah, but there is something better. Perhaps I should have looked around the board a bit more before putting that down, because there's this spot here. And even even X scores 55 points. I'm not sure I want to extend it to Dentex, because that would place the D in column A and open up the triple word square at H1. But I can play Lex, and then Dent isn't too bad of a leave. Just wondering whether to play Dex instead. But I don't like keeping the L and the N. But that's 56. Is there anything better? I think if there was anything better, it would involve a play in the same spot, as in putting the X in the same place that it is now. And I can't see anything. Gosh, that is a great pickup. I've got tangoed. I'm just looking around to see if it plays anywhere. Dragonet through the R of a jar. Are there any anagrams of dragonet? Dragonet. I'm reluctant to play dragonet because it ends one square short of the triple word square at 015. I think there may be one anagram, but it's not springing to mind. I've got 8 minutes left and there are 24 tiles in the bag, so I don't have a great deal of time. Dragonets, is that really all that's available? There are 2 S's out there. Do I have anything through the A of a jar? Not that I can see. I note that Lex takes an F and an I and a U in front, possibly a P. Well, it's slightly bugging me, this dragonet play. Because I think there is an anagram. Let's have a look at the score. I'm behind by 19 points. A dragonet would put me ahead by 30 or 40, but that could easily be cancelled out by a play of my opponent putting the S on 015. So I'm reluctant to play this if there is a better bingo available, but if there isn't a better bingo available, I do wish to play it. So are there any other bingo lanes that I'm not considering? There would be words ending in the L of Lex, but I can't see anything. There aren't actually that many bingo lanes available. I think it's going to have to be dragonet. It may not have an anagram. We'll find out later. I draw one of the S's. Does my opponent have the other? I've also got the Q, and with such a slim lead of 40 points, I'm keen to dispose of it as soon as possible. Having said that, I note that there are 4 I's out there. And certainly if my opponent doesn't have the S, I am going to play my S on dragonets immediately. And I'll probably play something like webs or bruise. I'd like to play as many letters as possible to increase the chances of drawing an I to go with my Q. But I think webs is probably the best play because it places the W on the double letter square at 012. Well, it would have been. My opponent did have the other S. He scores 75 points. He takes a 33-point lead. And I've got the Q. There's one U left unseen. None of the others are available. I can't see anywhere to play my cue. So I need to score. I'm drawn to the triple letter square at J10 for my W. There's only two E's out there. So do I play just WEB for 16? Or do I play off the E and the R to make Weber for only another 4 points? But with the intention of increasing the chances of drawing an I. Tricky. And is there anywhere else I can play? Because 16 points is really not very much. I'm looking around to see if there's anything, and nothing is jumping out at me. I don't feel this is a great play, but I am short on time. And I do not draw the I, or an I. So the cue is proving a bit of a drag on this rack, and I've only got 1 point tiles, so I'm going to struggle to score, and I'm 17 points behind my opponent, who does play an I, but it's not accessible to me. So I feel this game is slipping away, but I haven't given up hope. So what to do? Certainly the L and the two O's don't help the cue at all. Just wondering if I can play down from A8 to use that triple word score. But I can't see a good way of doing that. I'm very short on time now. I'm really struggling to see anything. Nothing at all is jumping out at me. I was thinking about pluralizing avise with my S. This is awful. I mean, and just 9 points, that is so bad. Well, shall I keep 1-0? I think I will. 7 more points. And I still don't draw the I. How irksome. There were 4 of them in there. There's still 3 of them there. There goes another one. So annoying. And that restricts my opportunities to put the S on the end of avise, and there's no tiles left. So I'm about to suffer the ignominy of being stuck with the cue. As well as possibly going overtime. Not my finest hour. Well, if I'm going to be stuck with the queue, my opponent will maximise his chances by playing out slowly, so I might as well play out slowly myself. There's no point in playing off all my tiles. Quickly, because then I'll be stuck with the queue and my opponent can play out at leisure. I'm not suggesting that these moves are remotely optimal now. Oh, my opponent's gone out. Right, I didn't spot that. And yep, I lose 426 to 508. So a pretty comprehensive defeat. Well done to my opponent. And let's see what I missed. Well, yaw did take a P on the end to make yorp, and that would certainly have been better than yaw. Not convinced by amp though. Spambot. Nice. I didn't realise bampots had an anagram. It does. It's spambot. Oh, and balm pot as well. This was my nanny play. And this was my phony. And I can see there that Rahui was good, so that was probably the source of my confusion. But Hurrier or Harrier were clearly better plays. And they remained available next go. This was my Amakosi play. Was there anything alternative I could have played? Well, there's Abomesai and Anosmia. Abomesai playing at A1 for 89, which would have been 10 more points than Amakosi. Dentex at J1, well, that was just the longer extension. But Telex at J2 may actually have been better than Lex. But I'm not sure it would have been, because it would have gained 4 extra points, but it would have sacrificed the E, so probably there's not much between them. This was my Dragonette play, and no anagrams. Gosh, I'm surprised, and there were no other bingos available. So that wasn't the howling blunder which I feared. Scow, day 8. 39 points. Yep, that would have been quite nice. Well, I'm not sure there's going to be any great plays in the remainder of this game. Nothing that would have won. It was essential that I drew the U or one of the I's, and that didn't happen. Playing Scow instead of Web would have played off one more tile, which would have slightly increased my chances of drawing one of those letters. Well, I'm not sure there's much point in going to the end, but that is the end. And I was stuck with the queue, and I did lose. And I think that particularly shows the importance of playing off the queue as soon as you can. In this game I didn't have the opportunity to do so, but it can be tempting sometimes when you can play the queue, if you can score more highly elsewhere, to think that you'll play the cue off later and the opportunities to play it can disappear. So I think there were some interesting learning spots in that game. In particular that Bampots has quite a cool anagram. So I hope you enjoyed watching it. My name is David Webb and this has been a video for Dweebovision.